What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Backliners podcast, Aggro and BaRRaCCuDDa, as per usual, though something a little bit different this time around, Barry. We are early to start the podcast. We started this at 7:59. People, all the time, people in chat, it's like 8:02 when we have a guest and we're trying to get everything worked out. You hosted at 8:01. You know, they're like, where is everyone? It's my fault if you host later. That's my fault. And everyone, so there you go. Consider this your one time that we're showing up a little early.
And we're just very excited to go over predictions. It's been like 4 months since SPL or anything competitive has happened. So we're kind of just like starving at this point for any bit of competitive Smite.
Please, some competitive Smite. I can't believe it's this upcoming weekend, man. It's felt like it's so far away.
Yeah.
But
it felt like the break was really long, but really short at the same time. Because I feel like I blinked and it was like 2 months ago we weren't even scrimming and like I wasn't even playing like that much Smite, and now I'm playing like 8 hours of Smite a day. And
how's your mental going?
Depends on the day. I was gonna say pretty good, but that's just a lie.
Yeah.
It depends on the day and depends on the queues. Sometimes like yesterday I had a soul laner tier. And he just didn't rotate. He was 0-4-0 at the end of the game, 7,000 damage. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Let me ask you this.
Like,
how many coups did he get?
Probably 0.
All right, well, if that's the case, then he's worthless. But if he was getting you coup early, then he's contributing to the team.
Well, he was complaining that he had to lane against a Chronos, and like, he was just like, oh, we're just letting this Chronos get to late game or something like that. I don't know. Like,
that's tough.
You're a tier, man. Get on the map. Like,
you gotta be getting on the map if you're playing tier. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. We gotta, sometimes this just becomes the Backliners podcast / the therapy room, and that's what it's here for. You know what I mean? We're okay with that. Yeah. So just Barry and I today. In fact, right before the show, I basically said goodnight to my wife because she's an elementary school teacher and she wakes up so early that she has to go to bed very early. And she was like, oh, who's on the podcast tonight? And I was like, oh, no guests, just me and BaRRa. And she goes, boring. Can you believe that?
What?
We get roasted.
What?
I know.
Go wake her up. Get her on the podcast.
Yeah, I should make her be a guest sometime. Okay, wait, we should do an episode where Destiny and Joe come on and we talk to them about Smite. That would be good.
Oh, content. I thought you meant like they just host the show and then trash talk us the whole time.
That could be good. I don't think that they're going to be able to. It depends on if
trash talk for 45 minutes. They can definitely trash talk us.
They could definitely. Oh, that won't be a problem. Destiny won't even have to say anything in 45 minutes. That won't be a problem. It's just that sometimes have you noticed like when we do like the AMA episodes in particular, some people I see some comments like it'll be one comment out of 30, but that one comment's gonna stick in my head like. Where's the Smite talk? We didn't come here to hear BaRRaCCuDDa's favorite type of mattress.
I see those too. Like, can you guys not talk about food?
Okay, well, we're talking about food. Is the thing.
It's like every episode.
Right. That's part of the brand at this point. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like if you're coming to this podcast exclusively only for Smite, like, happenings, you're probably going to leave disappointed some of the time. Not all the time, because we talk about Smite occasionally.
It's just that when you talk about Smite, especially when it's like halfway through the SPL and we've talked about the same teams and the same matchups and the same gods. I mean, I'm really preaching the choir here for you.
Yeah, you're describing my job. Keep going.
Yeah. Every Sunday, and you have to do it how many times do you cast a week?
Usually 4 days a week. Thursday, the schedule will be Thursday through Sunday.
How are you not sick of Smite, actually?
That's actually a good question.
Yeah, how do you just refresh and keep it new? Because I feel like I would get really bored talking about the same points and the same players.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. It gets a little boring at times, but
So I saw money.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on now. No, I just think that, well, for me, I come from sports broadcasting, and the same thing is in sports. You know, like you're commentating like a basketball game. You know, you're traveling with a team doing basketball commentary. You're gonna see a lot of normal stuff happen in basketball, and I think that's why I get really excited whenever I see a team pull out like a start I haven't seen before, or like they're doing something unique to them that, you know, even if other teams are doing similar things, like watching a team step outside their comfort zone and do things that we haven't seen from them before, like that's when you'll see me get really amped up on broadcast. And I think that people like, I think one of the common criticisms of casting is that we don't lose our mind for the... Obey is a really good example last year where people didn't think we were giving them enough credit, but I've seen Erlong taunt into Raw Snipe so many times at this point that I can't lose my mind.
Since season 3?
Right. I can't lose my mind about it anymore. I just can't. It's good Smite. They execute it well, but I'm not going to be out here saying it's the best play I've ever seen. That was just good fundamental Smite, and I think that that's the way that I was trying to portray it on broadcast, and people kind of expect us to lose their minds because a lot of people haven't seen that. And I think there's a large conversation there about where you should be in relation to the, you know, it's not about what it should be in a vacuum. It's about where your energy level in relation to where the audience expects the energy level to be. And
also kind of how important the game is. Like if an Erlong taunt into a Raw Snipe into a game 5, that's way bigger than like a regular season game of just like, oh, we one-shot a carry in this one specific situation. Like,
right, exactly. So yes, during the regular season, you know, it'll be August. There will be an Erlong taunt into a Raw Snipe. The audience will expect me to lose my mind, and I'll be like, nice snipe there by Wolfie, you know? And everyone's going to be like, resident sleeper casters in the chat, all this kind of stuff, and that just comes with the territory, as far as I'm concerned. But I really do just love Smite, man. I love watching teams compete. Like, I'm just as amped for SPL to start this year as I have been, you know, the last 5 years I've been here.
I think this year is more interesting than it has been. I mean, not even like being that guy, but it is actually more interesting because I think Oni Warriors in particular are a really kind of just like cool combination of players.
Yep.
And I think the hype between like, I think is it Titans with Cyclone and Paul in it?
Yep.
I think that team is more, so like, what was PK called? It's like God Squad or something like that.
Like a super team. That's usually
super team.
Yeah, super team.
I think that super team level is really interesting, and there's just a lot of hype behind specific combinations of players, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I'm excited to get into these predictions because I think they're going to be fun. Also, predictions on the Prediction Network. I mean, come on, that's going to be
that is kind of cool.
You know, that's how it's going to be working. So,
have we
go ahead.
ever done predictions?
We've done like, I actually don't know if we've ever done hard predictions. This is a weird episode because I feel like we're pulling the curtain back on a lot of things. Like we were just talking for a long time about casting, but I think that I've always been wary, especially towards the beginning of the show. I didn't really want to put you in positions as a player to, like, you know, as a player, it just gets a little bit more awkward for things like this. Like, you know, not only for your own team bias, but it's more important for your job to maintain good, well, maybe not more important, but it's important that you want to keep good relations with everybody in case of like rosters and changes and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think that we're just at a point now. I think that you've gotten nice and comfortable in this spot, and I think we're ready to do some predictions. That's how I feel, at least. I don't know. Do you feel any differently?
Oh, I feel completely comfortable, and I don't think anyone would be like, I hate BaRRaCCuDDa because of his opinion on a podcast.
Well, you've had some pretty terrible ones, so maybe you should worry when it comes to Smite, but when it comes to like things like your favorite sandwich, not even knowing what bread you like that's
I'm just gonna
bad.
say you've had a bad take in most of 2021.
That's probably fair. Yeah, Percy already in the chat. Trefoils. Yeah, you're right. Look, I know I'm wrong on that one, man, but what do you want me to do? My tongue. I put a trefoil on my tongue, and my tongue gives me a thumbs up in my brain. What am I supposed to do? Ignore it? Like, tell it it's wrong? I don't think so, man.
I mean, yeah.
No.
No one else likes those.
Well, I do, and that's all there is to it. I miss trefoils, man. I already ate all of them, I think. Unlucky. All right, let's get into it. How do you want to do this, Barry? Do you want to go... I don't think we should start either at the top or at the bottom. I think we should start at the bottom. I think
we should start Sunday backwards?
Oh, you want to do week 1 predictions in that way. So we were on different pages. Here. This is good. No, I like it. I was going to do predictions for where the teams are going to finish at the end of phase 1.
Oh.
That's what I was thinking about doing. We can do it your way.
That's why you had this whole spice level.
That's right.
That you were worried about
spicy, a little bit spicier, but we can do week 1. We can do week 1. That's no problem. No way.
I'm fine with what?
Guys, I still have trefoils. My wife just threw in the box. Let's go. I'm gonna snack on one right now.
You're literally disgusting.
I'm going poggers in here, man.
I can't believe you still have some.
I can't believe I didn't eat them all. You're right. They're so delicious. I can't believe they lasted this long.
She literally pulled them out of the trash and was like, here's some more. So good.
Do you guys want an eating ASMR podcast?
No.
Good, because I'm not going to do it.
I would. Okay. Different tangent. I don't know why anyone ever got into ASMR.
It's weird, man. It's weird.
I missed the boat completely on that.
Yep.
And I wish I was on the boat because it really blew up for a while, like 2 years, and I think it's dying off now. I don't see as much about it anymore.
I have a take that I don't think is appropriate for the prediction network, so I'm going to keep it to myself. But let's just say I think ASMR is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Okay, BaRRa, what do you want to do? Do you want to do phase 1 standings, or do you want to do week 1 of the schedule?
Let's do week 1, and then we'll see how much time we have left at the end of week 1.
I like it. Let's do it. All right, hold on. I got to open this up. I had a Google Doc open and everything. It's fine.
Oh, you were prepped.
I was ready to go. Okay. The first matchup of Season 8 of the SPL is going to be the Tartarus Titans up against the Camelot Kings. A good matchup. I'm really excited for this one.
Apparently the viewers don't think so.
Really?
Because in Smite's client, it's a 93% to 6%.
Really? For the Titans?
Yeah, for the Titans, yeah.
Wow.
I think there's just a lot of hype behind the Cyclone Paul backline, especially coming off of Worlds for Paul. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people just see those names together, and it's just like, I can't not vote for them.
Yeah. Those people realized Scary's playing jungle, right? And that he's never played jungle before, right? Like, that's a big deal, you know? Like, yeah, Captain Twig, even if I know a lot of the Smite pros, like, or not the Smite pros, the Smite pro community doesn't think that highly of Captain Twig. Like, Twig's been to 3 finals in his career and has been very consistent.
7 worlds
and 7 world championships, right? 7. He's been to every worlds. He's been to 3 finals in those worlds.
And every LAN tournament ever.
He's a really good teammate and leader on teams. I think that Twig is gonna potentially have like a big pop off year in jungle. I think that he's hungry he's hungry for more, to quote an oldie on YouTube. God. And I think that this matchup is going to be close. I think it's going to be a 2-1, one way or the other. But I don't know which way quite yet.
I'm going to YOLO and say 2-1 Kings.
I don't think you're trolling when you say that. I really don't. Now, okay, go ahead. Say your thing.
I was going to say, initially, I didn't think Kings were going to be that great. And I keep changing my mind about a lot of these teams, but I don't know why I'm feeling really confident in the Kings right now. Like, in this present moment, I feel like, yeah, I mean, on paper, like, disgustingly good team.
Yeah, I think they're a good team. I really do. I think...
Is there anyone playing from Europe in this match?
I have no idea. I have no idea what their status is for these boys. I want to say... I'm going to go 2-1 Titans. Because... And I want to clarify, whenever I said, does everyone realize that Scary's jungling? It's not that I don't think Scary's going to be a good jungler. I think that it's his first week in a new role. And jungle, in my mind, is probably the hardest role to swap to because it has the least in common with the other roles. There's no laning phase. Your rotations are very important. I can't wait to see the Scary versus Twig matchup in the jungle. I do think that it's pretty likely that Twig plays well, but I've got Titans 2-1. But
I'm swapping to Titans because 2 people are playing from Europe.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. That makes sense.
I mean, that's just unlucky, kind of unfair, but I mean, playing with that much ping is really difficult on any role.
Yep.
And I have to swap that over.
Yep, makes sense. All right, next matchup on Friday, the Atlantis Leviathans versus the Olympus Bolts. A grudge match from last...
Yeah, I was going to ask if this was placed here intentionally.
Very well could have been. Here's the deal, BaRRa. So some people don't like this type of stuff, but I think it's just a bad opinion to not like this kind of stuff. Part of our job as commentators is to create narratives that we're gonna push and to drive interest between teams and between players and all that kind of stuff. I'm going in on the Bolts versus Leviathans rivalry. I'm pushing it this year. I don't care what anyone says.
It's because all the trash talk after Worlds.
It was the trash talk after Worlds. It was the fact that you eliminated them from every playoff event last year. You kicked them out of Phase 1 playoffs, Phase 2 playoffs, and Worlds. I'm pushing it. That's all there is to it. I also have a scalding hot... I'm really excited about this take, actually, and I'm not going to debut on the pod... Well, maybe I could tease it on the podcast. We're going to be doing Esports Weekly this year, and I'm going to have a segment on there where I'm going in with scalding hot takes whenever I have them. It's not going to be... it'll only come up whenever I feel like it's necessary. And I'm starting off with a narrative this year that I think people are going to... that I'm interested in. I don't know. But that's all I'm saying. Actually, no, I'm saying one more thing. My narrative is about the new best player of all time title. Because I think it's changing hands this year. But there's 2 players competing for it. And I think it's going to be interesting.
I think there's only one.
There you go. Well, that's why it's a scalding hot take.
That's a pretty easy vote for me.
All right, there you go. Now it's BaRRa. I guess I won't record the thing. That's all there is to it. But yeah, check out Esports Weekly for that because I'm excited about that video. All right, let's get back to the Leviathans versus the Bolts, the biggest rivalry in the SPL as determined by me right now. I've got a feeling you think you're gonna lose, right, BaRRa? Haha.
I mean, scrims for us have been going pretty good. Better than I thought that they would be going at this point. We've kind of been meshing way faster than I thought we would. And I don't know anything about, like, Leviathans or, like, how their scrims have been going or anything like that. It's a little different for me, obviously, with Yarkor ADC and then Julio solo. I feel like they got weaker because I think Netroid was just disgustingly good.
I agree. That Netroid was very good.
Every time I play against that guy, I just thought he was just amazing, really good. And then role swapping is obviously hard, difficult, etc.
Yep.
I think we will win. I mean, not even like just saying that. I think we will win. I think it'll be a 2-1. I'll go 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. I'm going 2-0 in this one. And I'm going Bolts. Oh. I believe in I think that you guys just have a good matchup against them. I do think that the community as a whole are really undervaluing how good this Leviathans team is going to be. I would not be surprised if they are top 4 in this first phase. I do think they're going to be a good team, but I like you guys coming out of the gates hot here. So that's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I think this week, if we have a good scrim week, we'll come into this weekend very hot.
And if you have a bad scrim week?
It'll be kind of cold. kind of lukewarm, kind of, you left that food out for a few hours. But, we'll see. Sometimes, if we have good scrims, we play bad, and then sometimes we have bad scrims, we play really good. It's kind of coin flippy.
Yep.
I would say. But I think the Haddox edition for us, especially, has been really positive. I think he is very, very motivated in all aspects.
Yep.
Like, he is the most active person in our Discord for just talking and strats and everything. And like for someone to outtalk Vin in Discord, it's kind of crazy. And he is just very talkative, constantly about the game. I think he's also really helpful for Jake. I think both of them duo queuing is really good. Yep. And yeah,
I think Haddix is going to be very good this year. I have high expectations for him. All right, moving on to Saturday. It's the Oni Warriors up against the Jade Dragons. Probably the two teams that everyone expects to be top two during phase one. I think this one is going to be a lot of fun to watch, but I've got Jade Dragons
2-0. Again, question, anyone playing from Europe? Because that's very important to me for my voting.
I am not sure. I know Nika's here, and that's like, I think Neil is still in Canada, and those are the only people I really talk to on that team.
Oh, Fred will be. Yeah, I'm just gonna go Jade Dragons 2-0. If your jungler is playing on that high ping, like that, for me it doesn't really matter what team it is. If they're playing from Europe, that's
a tough hand to be dealt. Nika says only him and Voter here, so yeah, I mean obviously, team's gonna be really good, but
yeah, I think once everyone's on the same ping, that's a way easier conversation for me. I like to discuss and say the Warriors will obviously take one game at least, and then potentially win the set. But if two people are playing on EU ping, one's playing on Canadian ping, I don't know how bad Canadian ping is actually.
Neil is on the far west coast of Canada, so he is not. He's not. That noise was so good. I wish I had a soundboard of just that noise.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. Yeah, I'll go 2-0 Jade Dragons. That's a ping diff right there.
Yeah, that's tough. And then the Bolts up against the Solar Scarabs. I think everyone kind of looks at the Scarabs as a team that's going to take some time to ramp up. Obviously, the underdogs coming in to this one. I will say, this is going to be I'm kind of blowing you up here. This is the type of game that like BaRRaCCuDDa teams sometimes lose. Like I could see you guys absolutely demolishing the Leviathans on Friday and then coming in and dropping to this team.
I lost a Weekends team every year.
So you're on the same page as me.
Regardless of the team Weekend was on and how bad they were doing, again, no offense to Weekend or whatever, I would always lose to them at least once a year since like season 2. It literally, I would just like take the Weekend tax and just move on.
The Weekend tax. Kurt Trey coming through. Yep.
I know I'm gonna lose one game, and like I think even when we played them, season 5 SSG, like, and they were also the bottom team. I think we lost like 3-1 to them in like the second phase.
Yep.
Where we had like blown them out the first phase. And I don't think this will happen here, because I think Scarabs are better than people are giving them credit for. Because I think having Bobby's old teammates, I think, means a lot for him and the way he wants to play. So I think that they will be better than people think they are. I don't think they're going to be like a strict like bottom end team.
Yes, but did you ever think you were going to lose to Weekend in those weeks before? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I lost to them every year. I knew it was coming.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I knew it was coming eventually.
Well, you heard it here first. Any SPL teams listening, if you've got a must-win game up against the Bolts, just add Kurt Schrey onto the sub list, pop him in there, and he'll collect the tax. That
really did happen every year, man. It was awful.
All right, I'm going 2-0 Bolts, but I'm worried for you here, buddy. I am. I don't know. So I got that feeling.
I'm going 2-0 Bolts as well, but also just hoping that we play how we should play.
Yep. All right, and then moving on to Sunday, we have the Jade Dragons up against the Camelot Kings. This is one where I could see the Kings. Oh, I should have mentioned, dude, up against the Oni Warriors. I was talking to Mike about it. Mike has lost his opening set in the SPL every year he's been in the SPL. He's always lost his first set. Last year they lost at United, first set of the year. And then I don't remember the ones before that well, but he told me that he's lost every single first set. So he's intending to lose to keep that streak going. I mean, that just makes sense, you know?
I mean, I feel like if you're losing to 2 people on EU ping and 1 on Western Canadian ping, that's just really unlucky of a day that you're having.
Hey, man, that's just how the universe works. So worth keeping in mind. Maybe he switches it up, though, and loses the second set of the year up against the Camelot Kings, which I think is possible. The Kings are one of these teams, like, I really kind of view the Kings and the Leviathans and to some degree the Titans in this, like, weird amalgamation of, like, should be good, but I don't know how good. I think they're going to be, like, anywhere from 3rd to 6th for all those teams. I think you guys are kind of in that mix, like, assuming every team is at full strength. I think the Dragons are going to be 1st, the Warriors are going to be 2nd, and then any team between you guys, the Titans, the Kings, and the Leviathans are going to be 3rd through 6th. Those are the, like, and so I think that these are going to be very hard to, like, I don't know what to expect out of the Kings on this day. So I think I have to go Jade Dragons. I'm going to go 2-1 here just to put a little bit of spice on it, but I think it very well could be a Kings victory.
I think 2-0 Jade Dragons. I think the aggression from Jade Dragons will kind of just run them over unless they're ready for it.
You don't think Twig is going to be ready for it, though? I mean, he's been, not only was he on that team, but I think that he was instrumental in that strategy the last few years. I think of Twig as someone who really contributed to that identity.
I would say PBM contributed more than Twig did.
I'd agree with that.
And I think Hurry is a role player that will do kind of whatever his team needs him to. And if they have an aggressive style, an aggressive strat, Hurry will just, like, play whatever they need him to and just fit in that slot. And then Sam will just obviously be whatever he needs to be. And I think we discussed this earlier. I think Camelot Kings will struggle against really aggressive teams and really aggressive strats.
Yep.
And as everyone knows, Jade Dragons are obviously the most offensive team in the SPL. And I think it'll be an easy 2-0.
Yep. All right.
And that is keeping in mind how much I talked of Camelot Kings earlier.
Right.
But knowing that I think one of them is playing on EU ping, and then I think they struggle against early aggressive pumps.
Yep. And then finally, the Solar Scarabs up against the Valhalla Valkyries. Our first look at the Valkyries, the other team that I think people are really viewing as the underdogs, and really the battle for who is going to be the team that could be struggling the most in Phase 1, at least based on expectations for these two squads. How do you think this one goes?
I think... Okay, well, this is also EU ping, I think. I don't know how many people on the Valkyries are EU ping, but if they have over 2 or 3 people on EU ping, I think Scarabs takes this 2-0.
Well, let's assume I think you're right, but let's say Coast in the chat says all 5 of them are on EU ping. That's tough.
Yep, that's
I hate to see that. What assuming that they were all at full strength, how do you think this set would go? Because I'm interested in, like, thinking of it that way almost more than, even though it's more obviously, like, applicable to what we're doing here. How do you think this set would go if it were even strength?
Probably Valkyries, but I think every match will be close. I would say 2-1 Valkyries if both teams are, like, full strength on the same ping.
Man, I have no idea what this Valkyries team is going to be whenever they're full strength. I mean, I'm, like, thinking, and I kind of think, like, you know, I'm answering my own question, you know, what would happen if they were both at full strength, and the first thing my brain says is, like, 2-1 Scarabs, and then I, but it doesn't sit right in my gut. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what this Valkyries team is going to be like. I think that they have
What makes you question mark them?
I think that they have a lot to prove to me on understanding the way the SPL I think is going to be played this year, because Zero's notorious, for being the guy that is going to dictate how your team plays the game. And he is not going to be allowed to play the God pool we've seen from him traditionally. I think Morgan, I still think Zero's, for what it's worth, is probably the best Morgan player in the world. But I think that's the only pick of his that can pressure the map a little bit. Things like Soul, like you spike mid game pretty well, but you are so weak through like levels 1 through 8, at least in mid skirmishing. I think that Zero's going to have to show me that he has really revamped the God pool. Johnny obviously has that same problem where I have to see his God pool and how it's going to go. And I'm just thinking about where they're going to lean on the map. I think that the obvious answer goes the duo lane because of Raffer and ML, but you look at what ML has done over the last really 3 years of competitive play, and none of it has been particularly impressive. We all know the ceiling he's capable of. He's, in my mind, the most clutch player in SPL history, and has 2 rings and has been incredible. Raffer has done a lot, but you look at what last year happened with SSG, the games they won were the ones that they got mid or solo pressure. How many games did that team win through duo all year? Maybe 0. So, that kind of takes that lane out of the equation. And that leaves a lot of things on Ducky and Johnny on the right side of the map. And I'm just not sold. I think Ducky is a good player, but, he's going to have to diff. If the task is, if we're going to win games by diffing guys like Benji or Nika or Fine every game, that's not a winning strategy to me. So I don't know. I think I just don't see where the win condition is for this Valkyries team early on. You
mean early on in the phase, or
early on in the phase? Yeah, early on in the phase.
Yeah.
I think that they can fix that identity, and I think that they can be a decent team. But I think it's easier for Scarabs to kind of like, we got duo pressure. Layers is just spam ganking because we know that he's capable of doing that. And Zap got huge, and we won the game through duo. Like, I see a very clear win condition for the Scarabs team, and I don't for the Valkyries. But I think their player quality is really high, and they've got potential. So
I
don't know.
For Scarabs in this matchup, I don't know that much about BaRRaCCuDDa, but I know that their side lanes can smork.
Yep.
Like, Zap and Inbound, in my opinion, are going to be maybe the second most run it down lane behind me and Jake. I feel like they're just going to be a brawl lane the entire time. I know if Saut's mental is good and he is focused on the game, like, he is disgusting mechanically.
Yep.
Like, we saw him on Splice. His mechanics, especially on like those carries like Thor, he will literally just put you in the dirt.
Yep.
Like, if Saut's confident in his team and confident in himself, he will just start fragging. And I think that opens up Layers a lot to gank the side lanes and just kind of like leave BaRRaCCuDDa on like his little island in the mid lane, and he can do mid camps if he wants. If he wants to just not do mid camps and just chill, that's fine. But Layers will just be spam ganking side lanes. And with Johnny's playstyle, I don't know. Everyone talks about how amazing Johnny is, but NA smorking is different than what he's used to, I think.
So different. The EU SEC is so vastly different from the SPL that Johnny is obviously a very talented player and
mechanically
really good, deserves a shot. No doubt. I'm super excited that he's a part of the league. I just don't know. Let me put it this way. When Kenneth came into the league season 2 and really took the whole league by storm, I think that having that run-up of playing in Europe during that time allowed them to form their play style and grow as players and get their chemistry right in a way that I don't think that you could do in today's SPL. I think that in today's SPL, if you came in and tried to play like season 2 Kenneth, which is, I think, what Johnny has really modeled his game after, which, why wouldn't you? I mean, it was the most dominant season anyone's ever had. I just don't think it can work anymore in that way. I mean, you look at Kennett's trajectory as a player since then. He's had to change. He had to change his game dramatically in order to still be a top end jungler. And I think that for what it's worth, last year I thought that he really struggled at finding that identity. But there were games where he did find the way that he wanted to play the game and still looked like a dominant jungler. So it is possible, but I think it's really, really hard. I just think that today's SPL is so different that, you know, I think guys like Zeros and like Johnny, you know, Zeros has been in the league much more recently, but like it's just a culture shock. And Coach said in chat they've been screaming EU SCC teams. Mm-hmm. I mean, you might as well be playing Arena at that point. Like, not that those teams are bad, but it's so different. Like that practice is just nearly like you literally can't apply it. I think it's so different. Like I really do. Just the way that, unless things have dramatically changed in the like with how they scrim, it just means that they're not playing the map in the same way. All right, chat. I said it wrong. I didn't mean that those teams are horrible and that they're not worth practicing against. That's not what I meant. Coast, I'm sorry, buddy. That's not what I meant. I just meant that the way they play the game is so different. You know what I mean? It's so different.
No, you were
He's
right.
gonna pentakill me, man. Like I'm gonna get God by Coast now. He's gonna pentakill me, and his feet are gonna. He couldn't. The best part about his penta, by the way, I gotta go back. So
okay.
Coast got a penta against Mifflin's team at LAN a couple years ago. It was awesome. The best part about it, BaRRa, is that he's in those chairs. It was when the studio. I don't know if you remember this setup. It was when it was still the black curtain setup. But the computers were lined facing each other, and there was just like the little gap in the middle. So you could see both teams from where the seating area was, and Coast was closest to the crowd. And Coast, you know, they're not playing on keyboard and mouse. They're not like gamer stancing on top of it. Everyone's just kind of vibing and like playing on their controllers. Coast was so short at that time that his feet didn't even touch the ground when he was in the chair. So his feet are literally swinging. He's absolutely owning them, and his feet are just like dangling above the ground. And it was so funny, man. He was going off, for the record. Like, he was going off. I'm sorry, it's turned into the bullying coast.
See, I thought that was going to be like some great story, like he fell off the chair and like...
No, it's just that his feet were swinging, and that's the part I remember the most about it, man. That's the part I remember most. It was awesome. I loved it, dude. I loved it. And the best part about it was that Coast, like, even though he was young and everyone like kind of made fun of him for how young he looked, like he was down to talk trash super hard. Like he was just down to talk trash super hard, and I love that about it, man. I love that about it.
I kind of miss those like Xbox days.
Yeah.
Of just being able to talk trash, because like even when I sent the tweet about like Sanguine like on Dog ADC gap, like I felt bad about it.
Why?
And like even in the moment when I was tweeting that, I felt bad about it. Like, because everyone expects you to be like professional all the time and just not talk trash and just be so nice all the time. And like I grew up in a setting where you just talk trash, and like the Halo and COD days, you just talk trash.
Yep.
Like, I thoroughly respect everyone on the Sanguine roster and think they're all amazing players. But the fact that I tweeted that makes people think that I think they're just like dog players or just trash, or I think Netroid's bad. Like, I think Netroid is disgustingly good. Like,
yeah, but you gapped
I don't even think it was like that big of an ADC gap. I think it was a team gap, plus my team really set me up for success in every team fight.
Yeah, but you gapped him, and you should be allowed to say that. Here's the thing. You should be allowed to think they're a good player and still say, I dumped on them that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I agree. I think that's what it's about.
I mean, I just want that to be more of the atmosphere in Smite and esports in general.
Yep.
And everyone, I hate to say it, but like everyone's just like soft.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I got so many responses to that tweet, and just people in general that like viewed me a different way because I talked trash after like one performance.
Yep. Toxic.
But like in the game and even in scrims, we're literally talking trash the entire time.
Whole time.
like, and I still think all of those players are amazing players.
Yeah.
And great and like disgustingly good at the game. And it's not a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing that happens in the moment, and that should just be a part of esports. It should have never left esports, in my opinion. And I think right now, for Smite in particular, talking trash is so like looked down on. Like, you spam laugh someone, and then everyone's like, "Why are you so BM? Why are you so toxic?" Like,
dude, if
spam laughing is literally in the game. It's my character's model laughing.
Unlucky. My first example that I thought of was like, who didn't FineOK at Worlds like really juke someone's ability and then live and then kill him? Like, he should have been allowed to, who was that he was allowed to spam taunt? And then I remembered that it was Ven and you guys who should have been able to spam taunt. But like, that's a position.
Oh yeah.
Where he should be 100%. Allowed to go off. You know what I mean? Like, that's part of it.
I mean, he should be clipping that and posting it afterwards and being like, LOL, these guys beat Sanguine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, that's your right as a competitive player and as an esports player to be able to talk trash afterwards.
Yep. I agree.
That should, it just makes the thing so interesting, and it makes people like, we've had like a few villains in Smite, but nothing like crazy. I mean, Raffer is probably, you would agree with that, right? Raffer's probably the most like villain.
No, I think Kurt is. I think Weekend is.
Oh.
I think Weekend took that role on the most. Yeah. Weekend, I think, was always willing to, because he would engage with the fans who were trash talking him more than anybody else would. So I'd say Weekend. I think Raffer is up there, but Raffer is just like, he just doesn't care. Like, not about Smite or the game, but he just doesn't care about what people are saying about him.
I would say Weekend towards fans. I would say Raffer towards other like professionals or other players.
Yeah.
I don't think Weekend really like trash talked players that much.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Raffer probably up there with like calling other players bad more than.
Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of respect for Raffer in the way that he does it, and I know a lot of my fans like hate Raffer because he trash talks like me and my team, but like, I mean, honestly, like, just keep doing it. Like, it's really entertaining, and I think it's healthy for the scene to have people that trash talk. I just wish everyone trash talk.
It's not even like, I don't wish. Let me put it this way. I don't wish there was more trash talk in the SPL. I wish there was more honesty. I wish that, because all the time, man, like, I'm doing interviews with people, and I'll be like, man, you guys kind of crushed them there in the 2-0, and during the interview, the player will go, oh yeah, we just kind of got lucky they had an off day, whatever. And then the cameras go off and they go, dude, that team sucks. Like, they are just bad. And I'm like, well, why didn't you say that 2 seconds ago? Like, they're just bad. Like, that's fine. If you think they're bad and you just backed it up, then I don't understand the problem.
It's kind of like the double lift trash talk, where he would just say, I'm the best and everyone else is trash.
Yeah, like, that's what you need. Like, just having... And you know what? I'll say this. I just did a whole bunch of content interviews last week with a whole bunch of teams for the beginning of the SPL. And I told Captain Twig after doing his interviews, I was like, Twig, I really appreciate... He wasn't like trash talking. He was just honest about what he thought about players and teams. And I really appreciated that. And I think that we need more Captain Twigs in that way. For sure.
Well, I mean, everyone can't go to Worlds every year.
Well, maybe if you just started being more honest, Barry. Whenever I asked you questions, you would be able to get.
Look, man, I missed one, bro.
And it's because you were too damn nice that year. I
was in the mid lane, dog.
Yeah, trash roll. That's how it goes.
Honestly,
man.
Like, you just can't carry from the mid roll.
Dude, tell me about it. You really
it's so
can.
rough.
It is,
especially
rough.
When you're Chernobog into a hell, like, bro.
X-God into hell, yeah. Who wants to play, man? That's not what you want. That is not what you want. All right, it's time for. I think that we don't have time for the overall standings because this ended up going fairly long. And we gotta have a random question, and I didn't think of one. I thought at the beginning of the show when we were talking about how the show was gonna go, I was like, I should start thinking about a random question of the week because I'm gonna need one for the end of the show. And then that part of my brain that was assigned to think of that just it went to sleep. Like I didn't think about it at all, and now I'm realizing it.
Onions on pizza?
Onions on pizza is good,
We
especially
were discussing that earlier.
onions on pizza is good, especially if you're going like green pepper onion sausage, that's banging. Like that's a banging pizza.
Just green peppers and onions?
And sausage. Green peppers, onions, and sausage. And remember the little crumblies sausage, not the sliced stuff. Best ethnic food group. We've done that before, haven't we? Our favorite cuisine, like Italian or Chinese,
I think so, yeah.
or I think we did. I think you said American, if I remember correctly.
Well, I thought it was tied between Mexican and Italian.
Oh, maybe we haven't done it. Maybe I'm just trolling. Maybe we had a guest on that said that.
I love American food when I'm in the mood for it, but I'm not in the mood for it like too often. Wait, what is American food?
Like
barbecue
burger,
and burgers?
I think like burgers, hot dogs, like barbecue, chicken wings.
Wait, do we have anything healthy?
No. What? There are some things that are American that are like vegetables, like collard greens. I think would be considered American cuisine.
People put like bacon in there, don't they?
Oh yeah. Collard greens usually have a lot of bacon. That kind of stuff. No. Coleslaw is American, maybe. Coleslaw's garbage. That's all I'm saying. Dude, we should just do an episode where it's only food opinions and people just ask us food opinions. That's a good episode. We should. Well,
since I've been eating vegan lately, my opinions are a little different now.
Yeah. Are you still going on that, by the way?
Still going on that, yeah.
Are you well, the way you said it last week, you were like, we're just doing it for a little bit. I don't know, I don't know if there's a permanent change you're going for or what.
I'm feeling better than I was, but I mean, I timed it so awkwardly where it's like I got the first shot of the vaccine and like I started eating vegan at the same time. Yeah. So I can't tell if it's like a vaccine side effect or if like my body is like missing like a nutrient or something.
Yep.
But I've been eating tons of vegetables and grains and nuts and everything, so I think I'm good. But yeah.
What meat do you miss the most?
Honestly, none so far. So we had really good vegan burgers the other night that made me not miss beef at all. We had good vegan chicken. It was really good. It was like a frozen, like a pasta with chicken and like an Alfredo sauce and all that stuff. It was completely vegan and was delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't miss meat really at all. And then, dude, vegan cheeses are delicious.
We tried vegan mozzarella sticks, like frozen vegan mozzarella sticks, and they were good.
Like, I'm shocked that everything is that good.
I honestly don't. I gotta get you in contact with one of my best friends. Is it's Pretty Hair and his wife. She's pretty much entirely vegan now. They eat vegan at home. Nick will still have a steak from time to time whenever we go out or something like that. But she has a ton of vegan recipes. I should get her to send you some because
I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, they've been going in on it. All right, let's do this then.
Okay.
Because whenever I thought about asking you what meat you miss the most, one of the ones that I thought that you might answer is I thought about something else, didn't I? Oh crap. All right, well I thought you were gonna say bacon because I love bacon, and I was gonna do something about breakfast.
Bacon makes me too weighed down, so I don't actually miss it anymore.
Oh, I love bacon, man. We talked about bacon, the right way to cook bacon, and mine is extra crispy. I remember getting tilted in because we like floppy bacon, and that's super wrong.
I like floppy with a bit of firm.
What? What is the best flavor of potato chip? Have we done this one yet? I don't think we have.
No, but I also don't eat a lot of potato chips. But I would say.
Also, I will accept brand as well. I don't know if you, like your favorite. If you can think of your favorite brand and flavor of potato chips, that would be.
I don't know if you recommended this to me, but it's like a jalapeno chip.
Is it Cape Cod sweet and spicy jalapeno?
Yeah, I think that's it, honestly.
Yes, sir.
I devoured those, bro.
Yes, sir. I think I brought those to your house at the beginning of the pandemic last year because we were talking about them. Maybe we covered it then. Who knows?
That's the only potato chip that I've actually missed and wanted more of. It's got that perfect spice level.
Yep.
And every bite, I know this normal thing with potato chips, like everybody makes you want more, but that one really just like reels me in, and it's just perfect.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Cape Cod, Aaron and the prediction guys, we need a Cape Cod sponsorship because Cape Cod chips are just the best chips. They're delicious. My wife's favorite are the Cape Cod salt and vinegar. Those are also some of my favorite, but the sweet and spicy jalapeno, absolutely banging. Just delicious.
It's just got everything you're looking for in a chip.
It's got everything. It's got everything you need. Kettle cooked chips.
We really are selling it.
Dude, they are so good. All right. I'm telling you, man, a Cape Cod sponsorship could do us well here. That's the thing. Kettle cooked chips are just better, but all flavors of sour cream and onion, salt and vinegar, and like jalapeno chips are always pretty good. Most cheddar chips are kind of bad, except of course for Doritos, like nacho cheese Doritos are goated. And here's the thing. Here's my unpopular opinion, because otherwise I know that you guys will be weirded out if I only have good opinions. All barbecue chips are bad. All of them.
Agreed.
They're all terrible. You don't need them.
It's like one of those things where you think you want it and then you eat it and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, they're bad. They're just horrible.
Like, why do I want to eat this chip?
Barbecue chips are way worse than any other type of chip.
It's like you're drunk and you want like Taco Bell.
Yep.
But then you're like, you immediately sober once you start eating it.
And you're like, I've made a grave mistake.
Yeah, this is awful. Why am I doing this to my body? And then you're in the bathroom for 45 minutes and you realize, like, this is just awful. What am I doing?
Well, that's just, there's never been a softer stomach than John Salter's. I'll tell
also you. True. And also Taco Bell is just bad food.
That is true. But it is delicious and I will eat it whenever I feel like it.
It's really not delicious, bro. It is to me. Okay, never mind.
Don't worry. We'll convert them eventually, chat. One last thing. Type of chip that I've been going in on recently. The sea salt or just like salt and cracked pepper chips, really good. I love like the salt and pepper chips. Those are really good.
I don't think I've ever had those.
Dude, they are banging. They're really good because it has that same type of like not over the top spiciness. Yeah, like a bite to it. It's really good. Those are really good. So check them out. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Finally, SPL resumes this upcoming week, so I'm very excited to go over what we saw in the SPL after the first week, because in just the next episode, we'll be talking about an SPL recap, baby. We love it. We
haven't done one of those
since November. Since
November.
It has been a minute. So thanks everybody for watching and for listening. As always, make sure you're checking out all the other shows on the Prediction Network. They've got tons of different shows across multiple different esports that you can check out. Make sure you're giving us a good rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and or liking and subscribing the YouTube video that you're watching. We'll see you next time here on the Backliners. Oh, and buy our merch. We've got merch now. Oh. Someone sent us a hat.
I forgot to put it on.
I forgot to put it on too. We got merch. Buy it. You're gonna be really attractive in it. I promise. No doubt in my mind. Thanks for watching.
You're already not attractive, but it'll just make you more attractive.
It's not going to hurt you, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? We're only adding to, it's only a plus in that department, never a minus. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week here on the Backliners.
Bye.
Yeah, okay, good. Oh.
I got you, dude.
That was close.